All right, guys, so you might not be able to tell, but it is 20 degrees here in North Texas. And for most of the country, that's not that big of a deal, but for us, it's really cold, and our animals and everything are not used to the cold. So just gonna give you a couple of things that we have done to kind of protect the horses, the pipes, and everything from the cold here. So hi. Lolly wants to be in the video, so she's gonna scream here in a second. So first thing we did is make sure our long-eared friends are blanketed. Okay, so donkeys are very susceptible to cold because they are desert animals. Their fur is not as warm as horses, so they should be some of the first ones that we blanket, especially if it is snowing or raining, and they just got brand new blankets yesterday. So before that, I had large dog blankets on the mini donkeys, but those were halfway covering their hindquarters. So I went out this year and got them actual blankets. So blanketing donkeys, we gave Willow her blanket too. We pretty much blanketed everyone because it was 60 degrees. It's like 66 degrees on let's see, because that's Sunday, and then it dropped down to 20. So that dramatic drop, that's what can cause horses to colic and get really cold really fast because they don't have time to adjust. So blanketing is really important, especially with older horses. Having salt licks, mineral licks out so they get their salt intake, which encourages them to drink more water. Yes, I hear you. It's not food time yet. Encourages them to drink more water, keeps impact colic from happening. Now if you see these piles right here, I just have some alfalfa spread out in here for the older horses. The only one who seemed to have found it yet is Captain, but we have a couple more horses coming up. So I just put this out last night. They don't normally have hay in this pasture. All of our pastures out here are connected, so they do have access to hay. Don't twist my words, but we don't normally put hay in this specific spot. Okay, so having hay out here, it'll be a little bit confusing for them. So we get I got compressed alfalfa bales just because it was easier to transport, getting a couple of those. So Captain is one of our oldest horses, so we definitely have a blanket on him. So excuse me, he's got a really thick fur coat. Okay, but he doesn't really have any fat, so giving him an extra layer just to keep warm is exactly what he needs. So keeping food out for the horses, blanketing the older horses and the donkeys, and then as soon as it starts to snow or rain, because we don't normally get snow first, we get sleet, so the horses are wet and then it snows. So we're gonna blanket everybody this weekend when it starts getting really wintry. So here's Ginger, another one of our thinner horses. And so the horses that can't eat hay, they kind of hang together. This alfalfa has a bunch of leaves in it, so it's a very leafy alfalfa. The stems aren't that big. They're all chopped up, which is another reason why I like the compressed bales, because it's much better for the older horses to chew. Oh, Delta found the alfalfa here. Okay. So yeah, this is really good for them, giving them extra calories, and their digestive system kind of works by like fermentation. So as they're digesting, it's a slower process, which causes it to heat up in their gut and warms them from the inside out. So in order to keep them warm, you have to have food in front of them. So we are, making sure they have lots of hay. And then obviously having our normal feed schedule, just adding some extra salt in there so they stay hydrated. And then also giving them a little bit of extra soaked alfalfa. So, and you might be wondering why Ginger's blanket's so dirty. First off, Ginger likes to roll. Second off, Ginger is a blanket destroyer, okay? She likes to shred blankets. So we used to give her kind of the extra blankets back before she got this age and really needed a blanket, and she would just destroy them. So now she gets the nice, really thick ones, and this has lasted her a couple of winters. It's just got a little tiny cut in there. But yeah, she's all nice and warm. They're all nice and warm. I need to do a video about how to blanket and stuff like that, but I might do that later. Okay. And then this is Nutmeg. And okay, so she does have a little poke on her eye there that I'm going to have to go get the medicine for right now. But one thing about winter is they do stick their head really far down into the hay bale, and they do get those eye pokes. So you got to be really aware of when their eyes are swollen, if their eyes are getting runny, if one eye is worse than the other, because they do stick their head so far in the hay bale. So yeah, I'm going to treat this. Thank you, Nutmeg, for bringing that up. You didn't need to. But yeah, it just looks like she has a little bit of eye irritation there, which Nutmeg's eyes do stick out farther than most horses, so she's always getting her eye poked. Anyway, moving on to water, because water freezes, obviously. Actually wasn't too cold last night, so the water troughs aren't all the way frozen. This one might be worse, yeah. So when you are breaking ice, only break a small hole. So this hole right here is just big enough for the horses to put their head in while we leave this part frozen. And the reason why we do that is because the sheet of ice kind of works as an insulator, so the whole trough doesn't freeze. If I were to continue to break up all the ice every single time I come out here, it would freeze even faster. So having this ball in here to kind of be bouncing up and down keeps the water moving a little bit. And then this little hole here is just enough room for the horses to drink. Now, if the ice is thin, the horses can break it themselves. I've seen them do it. But I come out here and break it for them. So I just have that little hole. And this one is pretty broken up. It's supposed to get up to 40 today, so it should be warm enough to fill up the troughs again. But anytime we're about to have a big freeze, we always fill the troughs up all the way. So yeah, let me show you over here. Yeah, it's kind of a mess over here. I know. Okay, so we have put the hoses up. Here, actually, one of my students' parents did this for me, so that was really nice. I haven't quite broken up this one yet. This one seems a little bit thicker. Hi, you guys want to be the star of the video. But yeah, taking the hoses themselves off of the spigot and then wrapping the spigots up and leaving them dripping. So yeah, it's kind of frozen already. I didn't have, one of those official foam things, so I just stuck a pool noodle on it and duct taped it. That's what I did. Not really the what you're supposed to do, in quotes, but yes, this is just what I did. with the materials that I had and the time that I had. So, yeah, and then we have about 6 hay bales out for the main herd. They have their hay bale, which is just a massive pile of hay right now. They spread it out, they lay in it, they roll in it. Yeah, these 3 are messy eaters. But yeah, that is just a couple things that we've done during this cold front that seems to be lasting quite a while. It's going to be really cold here for the next week or so, which we're not used to, right? We're Texans. We're not used to this. But yeah, and then the cats are doing good. They have their blankets inside. They actually prefer to be outside, which I don't understand. But they can go in and out whenever they want. They have blankets and stuff to snuggle with. They don't actually seem to be bothered by the cold at all. So yeah, that's just what we've done for the horses. I'm going to do a separate video about the petting zoo area, about what we've done for them. So yeah, that's that. Let me know if you have any questions.